Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce. Wednesday in the NBA.
And the players going through their game preparation, making sure they're fully warmed up for the tip. The NBA on. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First for the Pelicans, the backcourt, Holiday and Gordon. And playing at the 5, a jump-shooting 7-footer with underrated athleticism out of Colorado State, Jason Smith. Then there's Tyreke Evans, and it's Davis at the 4 spot. And for Boston, the speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. And it's Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, a 7-footer with inside-outside offensive skills. In the middle at center. He's thrilled for this one. Everyone will be watching now how he does in his first NBA official game. Then there's Green, and it's Bass in at the 4-man position. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Olynyk dishes to Green. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark.
Well, for those of you who've been sleeping or under a rock for the last few years, Anthony Davis, the #1 pick of the 2012 NBA draft, is 6'10", with a 7'6" wingspan. The all-time NCAA freshman record holder for blocks in the season and a potential superstar big man in the NBA.
About a minute played so far here in the first. Holiday against Rondo. Rebound by Smith. New Orleans has gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. And for Davis, outstanding in the NBA from day one.
Yeah, defensively an elite shot blocker and rebounder, and offensively very talented as a ball handler and finisher. He just needs to get stronger, and as he grows, as he matures, I think Davis will be a perennial all-star. And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, you know, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
And Steve, just like you, when you shot, you had a favorite spot on the floor when you played. His favorite spot seems to be that 3 from the corner.
Yeah.
You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year it seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah as they added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
And that one's good.
That's exactly what they had in mind on that possession.
Celtics have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Rondo kicks to Bradley. Pass to Green. He dishes it to Bass. Back to Green. 6 on the shot clock. Green left side. It's rebounded by New Orleans. And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up standing pat at the deadline, Steve. Even though there was, it seemed a lot of interest.
You know, you want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished, and now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer, but I like the fact that they gave that club one more run.
5 buckets without a miss. That's a fantastic start. Well, this season, a new mascot, new team colors, and a brand new state-of-the-art 50,000 square foot practice facility for the Pelicans. It's not just a new paint job, folks. This is a franchise doing some exciting stuff.
Rondo kicks to Bradley. Stolen by Holiday. Gives him the lead pass. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. Clark, you mentioned the new colors for the Pelicans. No longer the purple, teal, and gold of the Hornets, but blue, gold, and red from the city flag of New Orleans. Steve, looks pretty good.
It does look good. And remember the other connections. I mean, blue is featured on the Louisiana state flag. Gold, Mardi Gras color, of course. You know, and then you think about the connection to the plumage of the brown pelican, which I've studied for years. And of course, red. I mean, the red represents... I have no idea what red represents.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
New Orleans making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. And Holiday kicks to Gordon. Smith on the wing. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Their offense has really come together immediately, threatening to run away with this game.
It's hard to imagine they'll be able to stay as hot as they've been so far, but if they can, watch out.
And now, the first timeout called here for Boston. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Steamsma checked in for Jason Smith. Aminu comes in for Tyreek Evans. Austin Rivers, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. And Brian Roberts sub in for Drew Holiday. And Bass kicks to Humphries. Feeds it to Banks. Pass to Rondo. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
Late reaction from the defense, and he's always going to make good on that.
Before his injury last season, it was quite clear that while the rest of the Celtics bunch could still hold their own, this would no doubt be Rondo's team moving forward.
Aminu, the pass to Steamsma. Nice D from Banks. Celtics trail by 12. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
But Kevin, here's what the Celtics head coach had to say when we spoke just a few minutes ago. Offensively, he knows their shots are going to be challenged inside, going up against a team with some shot blocking in the middle. He said they have to keep the ball moving, and he's had them practicing their in-between shots as well. Guys, those shots can be tricky, but very effective when a shot blocker is around. Back to you.
Okay, Doris, thanks. It's almost like a crucial aspect to enabling your offense. You first have to go down the stifling defense, don't you?
Yeah, and I think the key, Kevin, is being the aggressor right from the outset of this game.
That means being in attack mode and not passing up any good shots that you get early.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Bass. Wallace comes in for Jeff Green. And it's Lee in for Avery Bradley. That first time out of the game called for New Orleans. And for Rondo and the Celtics, had actually explored trading him in the past. You always hear the rumors he butted heads with Doc Rivers, and they wondered if he was too individualistic. But now they hand him the keys.
Well, he's a tremendous player, Rondo, and a guy who can take over a game. And there have been times when he's been a little moody. We've seen him bump officials. He's gotten suspended. He's gotten into little tiffs with teammates. But I kind of like that feistiness, too, as long as it's channeled in the right way.
Wallace dishes to Rondo. 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Passes it to Humphries. He's covered by Aminu. Humphries kicks to Rondo. Just 2 to shoot. No luck. Pelicans leading by 7. The dish to Rivers. New Orleans moving the ball around. Roberts. And that one comes up a bit short. The Celtics have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Right side, Rondo. He feeds it to Sullinger. Back to Rondo. Puts up a 3. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that does it for the first quarter. Pelicans lead by 7. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Pelicans.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
Rondo off the pick from Sullinger. Rondo passes to Humphries. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Humphries has got the first basket of the second quarter for the Celtics.
Not many teams, guys, in the East did very well against the West last season. And that in mind, you could call Boston's 14-16 record against the conference better than most.
Celtics trail by 8. Rondo with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Kicks to Sullinger. Back to Lee. Now the pass to Humphries. Lee outside. 6 to shoot. Humphries. Back to Lee. From the high post. and the basket good. Lee's got his first basket. And for the Celtics against the West, even in the shortened season, they were having a lot of trouble with some of the bigger lineups, Steve. More of the up-tempo teams out west.
Well, the Celtics were old and a little bit small, too. Kevin Garnett played center last year, so they played a lot of small lineups. And when you're small and you're old, sometimes, that's going to cost you, particularly on the road.
Stolen by Anderson. Oh, and here comes Anderson all alone.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close in the game. Giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Jason Smith, he's checked in for New Orleans.
There were a lot of questions as to whether Anderson would be as effective coming off the bench as he was as a starter, but he showed that no matter how he's used, he can come in and hit from deep.
Wallace kicks to Humphries. Back to Wallace. 5 on the clock. The Celtics need to get a shot off. Lee outside. Can't get it to go. And New Orleans will come the other way. They've led by as many as 14 points. And for the Pelicans, a nice front court rotation with Anderson and Anthony Davis. And you get offense and Steve defense.
Yeah, still young. Pelicans have gotten a lot of phone calls about Ryan Anderson, no question. He is coveted around the league, but they consider him a key piece of this young roster, particularly putting him around Anthony Davis to keep defense off of him.
Wallace left side. Now Humphries inside. That's good. Humphries has got 4 this quarter.
The offense has a better flow, and it actually looks better here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they've steadied themselves a little bit, trying to close this gap.
Holiday dishes to Rivers. It's Evans on the wing. Nailed from three-point land. Evans has got 6.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Puts it up from 12. And Olynyk with the basket on the assist by Rondo.
Well, they've finally gotten into a rhythm offensively this quarter, and if they keep shooting like this, they won't be down for long.
Well, Steve, you can see them looking to cut that lead down little by little to turn things around, and that's how you got to do it. How do you eat a big pizza? One slice at a time.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Gentlemen, for Jared Sullinger, drafted to the Celtics last season, it was a great opportunity to learn from one of the best big men ever to play the game in Kevin Garnett. Sullinger said, "You're learning every day, and as you're seeing what he's seeing, the game slows down tremendously." Fortunately, Jared not the type to take criticism personally, saying, quote, "Because I had Zach Sullinger as a coach," he says, referring to his father James, who taught him the game. And guys, Garnett praised Sullinger's incredible IQ for the game and no-nonsense demeanor. He's fit right in with the Celtics.
Nice stuff, Doris. Thank you. And the basket by Olynyk.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Mark, just piling up points in the paint.
So for the Pelicans, with these checked in for Jason Smith, Anthony Davis comes in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And Anthony Morrow subbed in for Austin Rivers.
If you're in the Western Conference and don't want to finish near the bottom, you've got to be able to rack up some wins against the East. And New Orleans, with a young team that's trying to find itself, just didn't have a good record against the Eastern Conference.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Rondo against Holiday. Taken away by Holiday. Davis up top. 6 points for him. Holiday, the pass to Morrow. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got his 4th assist in this one. Well, Clark, you spoke about the Pelicans' record against the East last season. They were just 12-18, and that was the 2nd worst mark for anyone out west.
Well, you could see they were timid at times. They were unsure of themselves. They just didn't have enough talent, enough belief in themselves. And it showed. Anytime they went on the road, west or east, it felt like they were in some trouble.
Davis. Offensive rebound. The kick out to Holiday. Dishes to Davis. Tries again, and that's 2 points on the layup. Davis has got 8 points.
He's very savvy in traffic. When he gets inside, has a kind of an uncanny way of shielding himself from contact and finding a way to finish at the rim.
And you know what? He's super on the offensive glass. Whether he's bagging his own groceries or sticking back one of his teammates misses, he gets it done in there.
Davis with the double team. Here's Olynyk. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Olynyk's got 6 points in the quarter.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over him.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. And Holiday kicks to Morrow. He passes to Davis. Now the feed to Holiday. 4 on the clock. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. And Davis can't get it to go. Outside Rondo. No good on that last second attempt there. And so that brings the first half to a close. New Orleans on top, up 11. We'll take a quick break then.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Hello, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And the lights of downtown Boston. The scene as we welcome you back.
Boston needs to do a better job guarding against Gordon.
He's got 8 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
Now, a lot of times, he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
Bradley dishes to Olynyk. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
Another good offensive possession for him. He's trying to shoulder the load here for his team.
For Boston, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Kelly Olynyk at the line with 1 shot.
Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East and middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your shoes and the banners hanging over top.
And Holiday kicks to Evans. Smith up top. New Orleans moving the ball around. And it's Gordon missing. Celtics trail by 8. You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. The pride certainly a factor last season, as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to ride that home court into the playoffs.
Pelicans leading by 8. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, the huge trade that really overshadowed this year's draft, the blockbuster deal between the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics sending out the veteran trio of Jason Terry, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, and in return receiving 3 future first-round picks, the right to swap picks in 2017. For the Celtics, a tough but realistic decision to begin the rebuild process. For the Nets, an all-in attempt to win a title. Guys, it sent shockwaves throughout the league, and we'll just have to wait to see how it all shakes out.
They've got probably the best team in franchise history. We'll see where they go next. And again, New Orleans has no up.
3 straight misses here to start the second half.
Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, originally from Canada, spent his teens in British Columbia. About a 7-hour drive from the Zags campus in Spokane.
Holiday up top. He's covered by Rondo. Holiday, the pass to Evans. He kicks to Smith. Smith off a pick from Evans. Shot to stop the drought. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play. And back to Olynyk, probably the most efficient player in college basketball last season. But Clark, questions lingered about the level of competition in the West Coast Conference.
Well, I think it'll be an adjustment dealing with the NBA size and strength no matter what level of competition he played in college. But I think he'll still have a way of separating himself because he's highly skilled.
Jared Sullinger's checked in for the Celtics. Rondo with it, and Holiday picks him up defensively. Rondo kicks to Bradley. Pass to Green. Lets it go from the wing. Here's Sullinger. Smith with the defensive effort.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Here's Holiday, and down it goes, jamming that one home. Nice hops and determination that time, Clark, to get to the rim.
We know he can bounce, and right there an example of how dangerous he is when he's got a path to the hoop.
And you love the versatility, guys. Being a point guard, and in this situation, they tack on 2 more points, expanding the lead in a pretty deflating way for the defense. You know, passing the ball well on the perimeter has really opened things up offensively for this club.
Steve, it makes the game easy. I mean, 10 straight points off assists. That's impressive, but it's easy when you move the ball.
And it's Evans missing. Celtics trail by 7. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Bradley can't get it to go. The Pelicans have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Here's Smith. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Smith's got 5 points now this quarter. Now a timeout called by Boston.
Boy, the Hornets were a very young team last season, had several draft picks that saw meaningful time and were even in the rotation. And this team was NBA young, and that often means you're going to struggle on the road.
The Pelicans making a switch here. Steamsma checked in for Jason Smith. Aminu comes in for Tyreke Evans. Austin Rivers, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Drew Holiday. And a breakdown here, guys, the hustle stats for the Pelicans.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive, attacking and coming away with steals.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
Sullinger dishes to Rondo, and it's sent back by Roberts.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
Rivers. He dishes it to Aminu. Shoots a 3, but they recover it. Here's Roberts, and that one's good. Roberts got his second bucket.
Did you see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket?
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
And for the Pelicans, Steve, there were teams with fewer road wins than them, but not many. Only 11 road wins for them as they went 11-30 on the season.
Well, the trouble with New Orleans last year was that they really didn't have any aspect of their game that they could count on the road. And if you can't score and you can't defend, it's hard to win at home, much less win it on the road.
Aminu misses. Celtics trail by 11. Rondo kicks to Green. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul call. He'll shoot free throws.
Jeff Green, drafted out of Georgetown by the Celtics back in 2007. Actually never played a game for them. Was traded to Seattle in exchange for Ray Allen. But in 2011, Boston reacquired him in exchange for Kendrick Perkins. So it's come full circle for the young man, and I think he's starting to find his groove as an NBA player.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Chris Humphries has checked in for Bass. Wallace comes in for Jared Sullinger. And it's Lee in for Rajon Rondo. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Bradley with the ball. He has 5. Here's Wallace. Off the left rim and out. Now here's Rivers. Back to Anderson. Pass to Rivers. Lets it go from deep. Gets it to go. And the Pelicans lead by 12. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Pelicans lead by 12. And welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. Holiday, the pass to Steamsma. Humphries with the steal. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession.
Now that pass had just a little bit too much heat on it for him to make a clean steal.
Yeah, I think it would have been a tough catch for either of them.
Bradley kicks to Lee. Feeds to Green. Working on Anderson. The three. And it's Lee that time on the assist from Green. Lee's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Celtics. Pelicans leading by 9. Rivers dishes to Holiday. Passes it to Rivers. There's the three. And the shot is good.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the three as well as they can take the three.
Holiday against Bradley. Outside, Green. Shot clock at 6. Wallace with a screen on Anderson. Here's Green. And that one hits back iron.
He can't get anything to drop. And the way he's scoring, I'm not sure it's something he should try to shoot his way out of.
No, that might only serve to make things worse, Steve. Sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
The dish to Steamsma. It's taken away by Wallace. Green passes to Bradley. On the wing, Wallace. Clock at 6. And it's Rivers with the rebound.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
Aminu misses. Celtics trail by 12. Bradley kicks to Green. Back to Bradley. He feeds it to Humphries. Oh, and there's the one-handed jab. I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw. The defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
So for the Pelicans, Liffey comes in for Greg Steamsma, and Tyreek Evans is subbed in for Ryan Anderson. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, the head coach for the Celtics, had some instruction for his guys during that break. He didn't exactly take it easy on them, saying, how much do you want it? Don't tell me, show me out there. We have to play better. We have to play harder if we're going to come back. Guys?
Humphries dishes to Rondo. And it's good with time running down in the shot clock.
Despite the troubles he had in the first half, he stayed composed and focused, and now he's getting it going.
Nice move. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one on Olynyk.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
Second free throw, no good. Celtics trail by 10. The drive by Green. Kicks to Rondo. And they double up Rondo. Taken away by Holiday. Davis inside. Covered by Humphries. And there's Davis. That's good on the assist by Holiday. Holiday's got his 6th assist on the night. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Now Green. Back to Humphries. And the pass to Green. 5 to shoot. Fires from deep. Now here's Bradley. Defended by Morrow.
Well, you know, last season I think officially brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to a close. The 7th seed in the East, dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle.
And so Bradley nails both of them. And back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but, you know, not like Steve back in 08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era, you know, with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past. But look, they've hoisted a championship banner very close to another, but it's just time to move on. And that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Aminu comes in for Wiki, and it's Gordon in for Drew Holiday. Rondo is doubled. Gordon, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And so it's Boston with it. 4 on the shot clock. Rondo, good. Pelicans lead by 8. Evans passes to Aminu. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there.
Brandon Bass is checked in for Chris Humphries. Rondo drives in. The jump hook, and no good. Trying to use the glass. The Pelicans have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. Aminu with it, now defended by Olynyk. Morrow kicks to Evans. New Orleans moving it around. Dishes to Davis. Left side, Davis. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. And it's a 12-point Pelican lead.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they?
The drive by Rondo. Soft touch off the glass. That's tipped. Out of bounds, Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession. And a new group in for the Celtics. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Bass. Wallace comes in for Jeff Green. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Avery Bradley. And Jordan Crawford is subbed in for Rajon Rondo.
Well, guys, tonight they came in here and really dictated the terms of the engagement, which is very difficult to do as the visitors.
You're right. That's not usually the way things work in the NBA. It's a great win, and no question, it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here.
Some changes for New Orleans. Steamsma checked in for Aminu. Anderson comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Holiday in for Anthony Morrow.
Well, their offense has kicked into gear, but seems to have arrived a little bit too late.
And as a coach, that can really be frustrating. I mean, your guys were stumbling along for most of the game, and now, when it's basically over, they finally decide to come alive.
And the basket by Gordon.
Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
Sullinger dishes the lead. Off target from outside. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's